For 30 years, New York's #1 primetime newscast. This is the 10 o'clock news.
His disappearance was a mystery. For nearly 3 weeks, a family waited, a nation watched, and a legion searched for sign of him and his missing A-10 warplane. Tonight, the break the Air Force has been waiting for. A break, but it may not be a welcome one for one Long Island family. Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Schmidt.
And I'm Harry Martin. For weeks now, the family of Air Force pilot Craig Button has been praying and waiting for word about their son. He's the pilot of that A-10 attack plane that vanished in the Colorado Rockies. Well, just a few hours ago, the Air Force announced that they found what they think is wreckage about 15 miles southwest of Vail, Colorado, near New York Lake. Waiting for word, Craig Button's family in Massapequa. Ed Miller joins us now live with the latest. Ed?
Harry, a $9 million jet is now apparently nothing more than a pile of rumpled scrap metal. We don't know for sure, but it's hard to imagine how the pilot could have survived after slamming into the side of a mountain. Here in Massapequa, Captain Button's parents had been told about finding the wreckage, but thus far they refused to answer any claims that the mother's religious conversion may have driven their son to commit suicide.
Leave us alone for a while. Why don't you plan on doing that? Leaving us alone for a while till we get our son back, or we bury him, and then we can have some sort of a peace of mind.
That's Captain Craig Button's father being told about finding the wreckage of his son's plane. The military says the weather up there is so nasty they cannot get close. The location, a treacherous mountain slope, a spot rescue planes went over dozens of times, but now that some of the snow has melted, pieces of the cockpit and wing can be seen from the air.
I saw personally on the order of perhaps about 18 to 2 dozen pieces of metal, individual pieces of metal, ranging from the size of the several square foot that the general described down to much smaller pieces.
The big A-10 attack jet, very much like this one, has been missing since April 2nd when Captain Craig Button broke away from a routine training mission and headed to the mountains of Colorado. While he could have ejected to safety, no tracking beacons can be heard, which seems to indicate he went down with the plane.
We will have to have someone on the ground that is able and trained to look for those remains.
Tonight, here in Massapequa, relatives came and went to the parents' home, but no one would say anything about the mother recently converting to Jehovah's Witness and how she reportedly wanted her son to give up his military career because of it.
They're very nice people. They're lovely people. And I just think it's a terrible shame. It's really, I feel very much for them.
Tomorrow, a special kind of rescue helicopter will attempt to lower a search team by cable to the site of the wreckage if the weather eases up. The weather there is so severe that if, by some miracle, Captain Button did manage to survive the crash, the bitter cold, experts say, would certainly have killed him. In Massapequa, Long Island, Ed Miller, Fox News.
All right, Ed, thanks so much for that report tonight. And again, the entire recovery effort has been hampered by brutal weather in the Rockies. And as Ed just mentioned, the search for the missing pilot could be delayed. Here right now is meteorologist Joe Moreno with more on what the rescuers face in this mountainous terrain. Joe.
Linda, unfortunately, it doesn't look good. We take a look at the latest satellite photograph. There's New York Mountain just to the southwest of Vail, and we can watch a frontal boundary now moving through that area. So 1 to 3 inches of snow is expected there over the next couple of days. And what makes matters even worse is they already have about 3 feet of snow in the area, with that 2 to 3 inches of snow more to come, and a very big storm on Wednesday. So whatever flying over the area they need to do it before Wednesday, because by then near blizzard conditions may be expected. The wind chill values there now are below 0, so it's not very nice at all. Unfortunately, the winds will be gusting between 40 and 50 miles an hour as well. So not a very pleasant sight down in the rescue area there in Vail, unfortunately. We'll give you an update. Linda, back to you.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. Well, it came down to the wire, but there is a deal tonight with the doormen. The union representing 35,000 apartment workers reached a tentative agreement with landlord representatives early this evening.
The new settlement includes the basic wage increase of $46 over 3 years, the same new starting rate for new hires, and a completely new optional medical plan.
That $46 Mr. Bavona mentioned would be per week. The agreement just comes in time to avert a strike at midnight tonight.
A plea bargain may be in the works for 2 New Jersey teenagers accused of killing their newborn son. Brian Peterson and Amy Grossberg are charged with capital murder. But today, a lawyer for Mr. Peterson says that he expects an offer shortly, and legal observers agree. The New Jersey couple allegedly killed the child shortly after birth in a Delaware motel room.
In Queens, the party came to a deadly end when armed thugs opened fire. Leslie Roberts has the story.
Got 12 shots. Bang, 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 bang. You know, all I seen was people running. That's all.
Eugene Penn describes the panic outside the Owl restaurant in Queens Village. More than 150 people were attending a private party to launch a new rap music record label. At 2:30 a.m., it ended abruptly in murder.
The gunman was by the bar. They started shooting, and they didn't stop.
This witness was inside. He asked not to be identified.
Crazy. Bodies, blood everywhere.
30-year-old Billy Beeman was killed. Another 10 men and women were hit in the barrage of bullets. 2 required emergency surgery and remain in critical condition. Police spent the day questioning a dozen witnesses. So far, no suspects and no motive. Here's what they do know.
Like a rap group singing. The dance floor was occupied by a lot of people. At some point up near the front door, a dispute broke out amongst a couple of patrons. We don't know what precipitated the dispute. We don't know what it was about. But we do know that at least one, probably 2 guns came out.
Patrons say the shooting is not related to recent rap music violence, but police say it wasn't a random shooting.
They definitely were shooting at somebody.
Who were they shooting at? Who's been identified as the target?
We don't know that yet.
He says witnesses have been cooperative but haven't yet volunteered any names. Leslie Roberts, Fox News.
A deadly chase played itself out on the streets of Newark, New Jersey early this morning. In the car, 4 men wanted for questioning about a shooting that had just gone down. Now, it ended like this. Police say the men took off, firing shots as they fled. They wrecked a short time later. 2 suspects died. 2 more are in the hospital. Racing to a false alarm caused a major wreck in Central Islip, Long Island. This fire truck creamed a car on Ferndale Boulevard. 11 people were taken to local hospitals. And fire crews came too late to save a man's life in Medford, Long Island. Flames broke out there at about 5 this morning. Madeline Aziz and her daughter managed to get out, but not 74-year-old Albert Aziz. He perished inside.
Cops say it could be another case of child abuse after they arrested a 33-year-old Brooklyn man. Police have charged Robert Vignard with attempted murder of his girlfriend's 14-month-old son. The woman brought the semi-conscious little boy to Brookdale Hospital earlier today. No word tonight on the child's condition. Well, they found her, but sadly, it was too late. White Plains police are investigating how 22-year-old Michelle Bennett died. Over the weekend, fishermen found her body in the East River, entangled in their nets. Michelle Bennett was a student at the Parsons School of Design. Meanwhile, cops in Brooklyn say they nabbed a kidnapper. He was allegedly holding his ex-girlfriend and her 2-year-old daughter at gunpoint in an apartment. Investigators say that he also shot his ex-girlfriend's mother in the foot. No serious injuries, though. The man is charged with kidnapping, carrying a gun, and also burglary.
A Perth Amboy, New Jersey metal plant remains closed tonight after a river of steel got loose and melted through a shop floor. Last night, 170 tons of molten steel spilled. No one was seriously injured, however, and no word yet on when the factory is going to reopen. And it was just 2 years ago, another explosion rocked Lodi, New Jersey, killing 5 men. Victims from that chemical factory blast have until tomorrow to file lawsuits. So far, 50 claims are before the court.
First it was flooding and now fire. It looked like a war zone today in Grand Forks, North Dakota. A string of buildings caught fire this morning. Firefighters couldn't get to the buildings on the flooded city streets, so they battled the blazes by chopper. 6 buildings burned down. The town remains submerged.
Well, there is much more to come tonight on the 10 o'clock news.
Israel's prime minister says that he is off the hook, but is he?
And later on, a new way to fix your fading eyesight.
And Cupid serves up an ace. It's 2 love for Andre and Brooke. And now here's an ace, Joe Moreno.
Harry was gorgeous today. We reached 59 degrees, nearly 60. Latest satellite picture right now shows the storm system well to the east of us. More clouds, though, on the horizon. A storm system will probably pass to the south of us, just giving us a slight chance of showers, probably coming in here by, let's say, early Tuesday morning. The latest radar shot shows severe weather now in the Central Plains, moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. A tornado watch remains in effect there. Our forecast for tonight, a few clouds around. Low temperature in the city, about 44 degrees, and about the low 40s north and west of the city. Take a look now at the new Dodge Tri-State commuter forecast for tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning is brought to you in partnership with Dial-A-Mattress. For the best price on name brand mattresses, just dial 1-800-MATTRESS and leave off the last S for savings.
I decided to try this hot new color that all the magazines are raving about. I go to Rite Aid and pick it up. Ugh, it's horrible. Another one to add to the makeup junk drawer, right? Wrong. Rite Aid's got this new cosmetics money-back guarantee, and it's risk-free. You don't like it? Rite Aid gives you your money back. We all make mistakes buying cosmetics, but now we don't have to pay for them.
The Rite Aid Cosmetics money-back guarantee. For your life, Rite Aid's got it.
Inside this building, 5 small and medium-sized businesses are connected to a new kind of phone company. WinStar has local, long-distance, internet services, and more. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can speak with real, live human beings who can handle any situation with efficiency and grace. Get ready to see things from a phone company you've never seen before. Call 1-888-WinStar. We're the new phone company.
Hey, Valerie, it's me. Give me a call when you get in, okay? Bye. Val, hey, where are you? Are you mad at me? Okay, look, whatever it is, it's my fault, okay? It's not you, it's me.
Right now, for $248 a month for 36 months and $1,043 due at lease signing, you can get away from it all in the new Isuzu Rodeo. But make sure you let your loved ones know where you're headed first.
It's because I still live with my mother, isn't it?
This is my McDonald's. This is an Arch Deluxe. This is a Crispy Chicken Deluxe. And there's nothing else like it.
McDonald's Arch Deluxe and Crispy Chicken Deluxe. This is as good as it gets.
Here, where it all began.
This is my McDonald's.
Looking for some fun?
At my McDonald's, you'll find it in the Tri-State Sports and Entertainment Guide. For only $2.99, you'll get 100 pages filled with great ideas. And for every guide sold, 25 cents will be donated to Ronald McDonald House charities of the Tri-State area. Come to my McDonald's and start your fun with us.
Move over, Amanda. There's a new Queen of Mean.
Listen, you little homewrecker, you come anywhere near this man, I'll rip your lungs out!
Melrose Place, tomorrow at 8 on Fox 5.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that he may have goofed, but he is not a crook. That's the way the final chapter of Bibi-Gate came down last night after Netanyahu was cleared of wrongdoing in a scandal that threatened to bring his government to its knees. The Prime Minister was accused of making a deal to nominate his Attorney General in exchange for charges being dropped against one of his political cronies.
Now, remember the hostage crisis in Peru? Well, it is still going on, and that is forcing a big government shakeup there. That's topping our world in a minute. Both the Interior Minister and police chief stepped down. They did it under increasing pressure to bring the hostage crisis to an end. Tupac Amaru rebels have held 72 people in the Japanese embassy compound since December. In Zaire, refugee relief hits a roadblock. Spelled cholera. An outbreak has halted plans to move 100,000 refugees back to Zaire from Rwanda. Protesters took to the streets of Hong Kong. It may be their last chance. They're demonstrating against Chinese plans to curb civil liberties, including the right to demonstrate. China takes over Hong Kong in July. The highest-ranking official ever to defect from North Korea is now in South Korea. Wang Jong-yop says he left the North when he realized the policies of his government were leading to mass starvation. And back in Lima, Peru, the supermodels hit the catwalk. Among them, Claudia Schiffer. Proceeds went to feed hungry kids. And that's your world in a minute.
He's not faster than a speeding bullet, but he is able to leap tall buildings. He is Spider-Man, and he managed to scale one of the tallest buildings in the world. This one is in Malaysia. Frenchman Alain Robert raised $150,000 for charity after he scaled the Shaba building. It was just last month that he was stopped from climbing the world's tallest building. That one is in Kuala Lumpur.
Better him than me.
That's for sure.
Well, still to come tonight, Love is in the Air.
Another star says I do. Find out who plays opposite him till death do they part.
And we'll show you where to turn to make yourself more business savvy, or at least sound that way.
It's such a fine line between a good man and a bad. Jekyll and Hyde, the musical, on Broadway. Call Telecharge now.
They meet every weekend on these hallowed and verdant fields. These weekend warriors, garden variety gladiators versus Mother Nature. It is a battle ultimately decided by power.
At the Home Depot, you'll find more of the best brands of power equipment for your lawn and garden.
Out here, only the strong survive.
Get ready. It's the Pontiac Race to the Red Line. Take the lead in America's most popular compact, Pontiac Grand Am, with a value that takes driving excitement to the limit.
And now, for a limited time, you can lease a Pontiac Grand Am GT for just $189 a month for 48 months.
But step on it. The race to the Red Line ends soon. Pontiac Grand Am. Built for kicks, built for keeps.
Drive the excitement during the Race to the Red Line at your Tri-State Pontiac dealers today.
The giants of industry never rest.
Hello? Mrs. B here. Remember, it's time for my Miss Anything But This sale. I have Bradley's lowest prices of the season on just about everything in the store. And Sunday and Monday, I have extra special bonus savings. Now about your prices. You'll have to do better than that. That's much better. Bradley's Miss Anything But This sale. With buys like this, you just can't miss.
The news brought to you by 95.5 WPLJ. Wake up with Scott and Todd and drive home with a Rocky Allen Showgram.
Scott and Todd are serious about having fun on 95.5 PLJ.
You can do it!
You can see their dedication in the way they prepare every morning. These guys put on a show, even when they're just warming up. Scott and Todd on 95.5 PLJ, the hardest working radio team in New York. And then there's PLJ's afternoon man, Rocky Allen. He warms up differently. Hey, Rocky, pace yourself. 95.5 PLJ. How much fun can one station have?
There's a new alternative to glasses for those who are nearsighted. Until recently, laser surgery was the only other way to go. Well, now doctors have come up with a procedure that implants a tiny ring under the cornea, changing the eye's shape. Tests are underway right now, and FDA approval could come shortly.
Did you ever wonder what an LBO is, or whether a red herring is fish, fowl, or none of the above? Well, we can help in tonight's Fox Business Report.
Okay, so you went to school, and you even went to a good one. But what happens when your boss starts talking about variable pricing, elasticity, and brand equity? You start getting that confused look on your face again, don't you? Well, never fear. The Fox Business Report is here to help.
You get a memo from your boss, and he tells you, okay, I want a red herring. And instead of going to the fish store, to get a fish, you actually know it's a prospectus.
Lorraine Spurge is the editor of a new business encyclopedia that's about to hit the stands.
The book is organized A to Z, like a dictionary or an encyclopedia, and it has terms from 8 disciplines: accounting, finance, strategy, marketing, everything you might need to work in an office or work in a company or work in a business or be an entrepreneur.
Lorraine says it's not just for new executives.
Or you're an assistant, and instead of just knowing the terms so you can spell it, it's not just spell check, maybe you'd actually encourage your assistants to read the terms to understand how to use them in a report.
In case you were wondering, variable pricing is selling the same thing to different customers at different prices, like the same car being sold for different prices at different dealerships. Elasticity is how much room there is to raise the price of the thing before consumers start saying it's too expensive. And brand equity is basically a measurement of what consumers think of a company's reputation and how much they're willing to pay for it. Knowledge Exchange's Business Encyclopedia also has biographies of some famous business people. The book costs $45. And that's tonight's Fox Business Report.
Some famous couples make it official this weekend. Brooke Shields and Andre Agassi volley marital vows yesterday in California. It was a small ceremony, though. Only about 100 guests attended. And in Washington, D.C., Chris O'Donnell and his college sweetheart take the plunge into permanent coupleism. Now, you know O'Donnell from one of the Batman movies. His wife is a kindergarten teacher. And, of course, our best to both couples.
Oh, wow. Wasn't that nice?
Yes, how exciting.
Well, straight ahead, Joe's back to work forecast.
And an old favorite comes back to the stage. Stu's got the review.
Tonight's Tri-State Commuter Forecast is brought to you by the new Dodge. See your local Dodge dealer today.
Interest rates. The numbers have gotten bigger, so Dodge is doing something to bring those numbers down to size. With low 3.9% financing for 60 months on Dodge Neon, or 3.9% for 60 months on Dodge Stratus. Never before have these numbers been this low for this long. But these long, low numbers could start stacking up again. So don't wait. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
This is my very first live shot ever. And there's a guy moving up against it, pushing up against it.
I remember this.
I said, there's some guy who just feels like he has to be on television. And Jim is cracking up in the background. Tell him who it was, Jim.
It was Dr. Frank Field.
You have a business, and now you can choose who supplies your natural gas, them or us. Their gas burns at about 600 degrees Celsius. So does ours. Their gas includes a vast service and support network. So does ours. But our natural gas can cost your business hundreds of dollars less than theirs does. So while it's true that gas is gas, you just get more of ours for your money.
Call MC Squared for energy.
Endless meetings in Munich. Difficult clients in Milan and Prague. You get to Delhi, and it's the rainy season. Yet you remember it as an unusually good trip. But then, it wasn't just your usual airline. Most anywhere in the world business takes you, you can experience the attentive, reliable service of Lufthansa. Welcome aboard.
Glamorous Hollywood? Not to me. For me, it's long hours and strange locations. Can't get slowed down by irregularity. My doctor says exercise, eat right. But sometimes a meal is whatever you can grab between takes. My doctor suggested Metamucil, the only leading brand with 100% natural fiber, like the fiber in healthy foods. Keeps me regular, gently, so I can give my usual award-winning performance.
Metamucil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
The news brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
Plymouth Voyager is a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. So we're celebrating by giving you air conditioning, 7-passenger seating, and a very nice door prize. So for no extra charge, you'll get the 4th door on any Plymouth minivan. That's up to $18.45 in package values and savings. Even with all of that, Plymouth Voyager is still this low price. So hurry in and claim your Plymouth Voyager door prize.
It was a pretty decent day out there today. You were right on the money, Joe.
Right on the money. And speaking of which, I guess you forgot to tell him that every time I get the temperature right on the money, you have to pay me the dollar equivalent.
Whoa.
Or you have to buy him dinner.
That's good it wasn't a heat wave.
Or 59. That's
Okay.
$59. Let's go inside and check it out right now. We have pretty nice conditions. It's 53 degrees right now. We have mostly cloudy skies. Humidity is 48%. The barometer is falling off just a little bit. It's actually come up in the past hour, and the winds are northwest at 3 miles an hour. The high temperature, 59 degrees. Very nice. A few clouds around. Low this morning, a chilly 41 with no precipitation. The record highs and lows, 90 and 24 degrees. Check out some of the temperatures around the region right now. In Brooklyn, 47 degrees, winds off the water there, 45 at Islip, Chile. Southampton at 48 degrees and 52 in Danbury. Low 50s generally to the north and west of the city. And tonight, not as cold as last night. The major nor'easter, the storm system, is well to the east of us. It really wound up. It was a big storm, as you know. 100-mile-an-hour winds recorded in parts of Massachusetts for that particular storm. The clouds are thinning out. We're going to say goodbye and then hello to these clouds. But luckily for us, most of this energy is going to pass to the south of us. On the larger scale, we can see what's happening now in the Midwest. Is a monster of a storm. It's creating a lot of convection. A tornado watch is now in effect from Texas to Oklahoma and parts of Missouri, and a tornado warning is in effect for some counties. Dallas and Fort Worth getting it right now, pounding hard with severe thunderstorms. Let's put the national mosaic of our Doppler radar into action right here. This tremendous line of showers and heavy thunderstorms, embedded tornadoes as well. It continues to move to the southeast, so they're going to be getting it by tomorrow. This whole line is going to shift. But again, most of this energy to the south of us. It's this energy that by Thursday will come down and then up the east coast. And yes, possibly another nor'easter with rain and wind. So get ready for Thursday. My forecast for tonight, look for partly cloudy skies. The low temperature tonight about 44 in the city, 40 to 42 Long Island, and 38 to 40 north and west. You'll wake up in the morning. It'll be nice at 46 degrees, 57 by lunchtime. Plenty of sunshine, 61 for a high temperature. And then the clouds start to come in, 58 degrees. Check out my Fox 5 5-day forecast. A slight chance of showers early on Tuesday. Otherwise, 59 degrees, low temperatures in the low to the mid-40s. By Wednesday, it warms up nicely to 64 degrees. And then Thursday is the day. And I actually think, Harry and Linda, it's going to begin on Wednesday night with very strong winds and heavy rains into Thursday, and then it clears out by Friday. So please be careful. Back to you.
Joe, did we explain if it rains on our day off, that you owe us the dollar equivalent?
Nobody ever told me about that.
All right, thanks.
Making up some new rules here. Well, a Broadway classic is making a comeback. It's called The Gin Game, starring Julie Harris and Charles Durning. It reopened tonight. Stuart Klein had a sneak, and here's his review.
The two characters of this comic drama are welfare cases in a drab home for the aged, and they find some solace when they play gin rummy together.
You knew the hell I'd been through. You changed your tune mighty fast on that, gin.
The woman, although a bit ditzy, constantly beats the guy to his increasing consternation.
Finally, gin.
God damn it! You know, I knew you were kidding me. Kings, and I gave it to you anyway. Now, why did I do that? Talking too damn much.
You know, I never heard my father say a curse word in his life.
Obviously, you never played gin with him.
But they enjoy their friendship, and as they play cards, they reveal their empty lives, abandoned by their children, nowhere to go, and haunted by fear.
A feeling of sheer terror came over me. God, I didn't know what to do.
So they play gin together until the guy loses his temper, they argue and separate, and suddenly these two lost people are alone again. The play by D.L. Coburn still has clout, and the acting of old pros Julie Harris and Charles Durning is strong, although it's impossible to top the dual performances of Hume Cronin and Jessica Tandy in the original. Overall, the Gin Game is solid theater and entertaining. Stuart Klein for Fox News.
Now here's Tom McDonald with a preview of tonight's Sunday Sports Extra.
What's your favorite sport?
Ping pong.
Ping pong. That's the only sport that we're not going to talk about on the show tonight.
I knew that.
Waiting in the wings, a lot on basketball, baseball, hockey, and even football. Sports Extra is chock full of sports tonight, and it's waiting in the wings. What'd you say your name was?
I lied.
Harry?
I lied. Harry. Yes, I lied.
Ping pong. And finally tonight, everybody, all the world was a carnival for these kids that you're about to see. They took part in a benefit at the Children's Museum of Manhattan today. It was fashioned after an old-time carnival, and they looked like they had a good time. Kids had their faces made up, and they got a chance to meet with their favorite cartoon characters. And the fun is all for a very good cause. Proceeds go to the museum's outreach programs for needy teens.
Looks like that a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us.
Have a great week, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Tom McDonald on Sports Extra tonight, Sunday, April 20th. The NBA playoffs begin this week, and the Knicks tuned up with an upset of the Bulls last night, and Sports Extra was there. Also, out in Chicago today, the Yankees came from behind. Our Sports Extra cameras were in the locker room after the game, after they lost. At Shea Stadium, the Cubs finally won a game. Down in Florida, the Rangers got all even with the Florida Panthers. We'll hear from the Broadway Blues, and we'll talk to the Jets' #1 draft choice, a linebacker from Virginia, and Nets coach John Calipari opened his practice to our Sports Extra cameras today and answered all the questions about his stormy season. Sports Extra is on deck.
Francesco Lafabula has just created the little black dress that will change everything. The magazines have created a frenzy, and you have sworn that your stores will be the first to carry it. Enter UPS. Customs gets cleared electronically. The global network kicks in. Also that at the same time, on the same day, the dresses arrive from Europe to each of your stores nationwide. Success is a beautiful thing.
Nice dress.
UPS, moving at the speed of business.
For about what you would spend on one of those pretend luxury cars. I got the real thing.
Right now, get the best deal of the year on the legendary Lincoln Town Car. Only $4.99 a month with just $9.99 down. But those who hesitate pay more than $4.99 a month with $9.99 down for Town Car.
My friends think I paid more. A lot more.
Don't wait to see your Tri-State's Lincoln dealers.
Why would TWA serve JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark with over 200 arrivals and departures a day, flights to and from over 114 cities worldwide, including nonstops to and from 29 cities in the U.S., Europe, the Caribbean, and the Middle East? Transworld Airlines. We're up to something good.
You come to Home Depot, you want lawn and garden, we've got it.
Small plants, big plants, you got your trees.
Lawn mowers, we have shovels, rakes, any type tool that's pertaining to lawn and garden, we have it.
We make sure that every garden department has certified nursery people.
We're experts.
You get fresh plants, plus you'll get the lowest prices in town, and that we guarantee.
Maintain your lawn with Scott's Turf Builder. It builds a thick green lawn, and it's at the guaranteed low price every day at the Home Depot.
Mad About You, weeknights at 7:30 and 11:30 on Fox 5.
The New York Knicks are going into the playoffs on an up note. They upset the Bulls in Chicago last night and wrapped up the 3rd seed, which means if the Knicks are to see the Bulls again this season, it would be in the Eastern Conference Finals. After the Knicks' victory, their first ever in the United Center, Michael Jordan told us the victory should set the Knicks up for the postseason.
You know, I'm pretty sure it's a confidence builder for them, you know, because they hadn't won in, 8 games, 9 games, I don't know. And it's a tough one to lose, no matter how you look at it. And the last thing you want to do is give them any type of confidence, even in your building.
Perhaps just what the Knicks needed, a major shot in the arm. They finished the regular season strong, winning 3 straight games, including last night's victory in Chicago. Forget about securing the number 3 seed in the East. Was it a game the Knicks had to win?
Yeah, this is a big win for us. We showed everybody that we're capable of beating the Bulls, you know, at home, at their home. We solidified the 3rd spot. We came out and ended the season the way that we wanted to end it on a high.
It was definitely a big win for us. I think, you know, to go out with a win like this, you know, really gives us a big boost.
Well, it's always good to win your last game, then come in here and beat a team like that. Defending champs in this building, you know, don't lose too often in this building.
We've proven to Chicago that we can beat them on our home court, so I thought this was more of a psychological edge for our basketball team.
It's time for the Knicks to step up to the plate. The playoffs are a whole different ball game. They can ill afford to be inconsistent, something that plagued them during the regular season. The high-priced free agent backcourt has to play a steady, heady game. Allen Houston, at times, including last night, has shown he can be a force. And it's now time for Chris Childs to elevate his game as well.
We've been up and down a lot, but I think in the last 2 or 3 games we've been really trying to improve and get ready for the playoffs, and I think that's what this game does for us.
What I think we need to do is be a little more cognizant of the game situations and trying to get the basketball to the basket to get high percentage shots and not shoot ourselves in the foot with a lot of turnovers. So we do those things very well. There's no reason why we can't play the consistent basketball that sort of eluded us all season long.
We always step up doing big games. You know, it may be inconsistent against weaker teams, but the better teams of the league, we always step up and play good.
You won't see the likes of Vancouver, Boston, Philly, or even the Nets, who had their share of success against the Knicks this season in the playoffs. The second season offers only the upper echelon, and that's not a problem, at least for John Starks. You say you could step on the accelerator right now and just get it going again?
Well, we're showing that. We last 3 victories over very quality ball clubs, Atlanta, Indiana, and Chicago.
A good team got to be able to go out and play the same way night in and night out, regardless of who they're playing.
It's a good team, then.
No question.
Number 3 seed, does it matter who you play?
It doesn't matter. You're going to have to play everybody anyway. It's all about 15 wins. Get 15 wins, we can have our parade.
There's no question about it. The Knicks certainly got a jolt by beating the Bulls. But remember, this is a team that went only 10-9 over its last 19 games. the Knicks can ill afford to be inconsistent in the playoffs. For Sports Extra, I'm Carl Reuter.
Love Chris Childs. 15 wins equals a parade. The Knicks will start their playoff run on Thursday at home against Anthony Mason and the Charlotte Hornets. Next, the Yankees. They rallied from a 5-run deficit and forced extra innings out in Chicago. Our Sports Extra cameras were there to capture the moment. And then later in the show, we'll go one-on-one with the Nets coach, John Calipari. He gave us a behind-the-scenes look at his team's practice today.
So it may be down, it may be over the top, but he'll drive that way first. Downstream thumb is for the lob.
It's time now for International Paper's world-class moments. At International Paper, their motto is, "We are the world," and tonight they salute the great one. Wayne Gretzky of the New York Rangers has been hockey's scoring machine. 2,705 career points. Once scored 92 goals in a season, 215 points. He's won 4 Stanley Cups. And that's why Wayne Gretzky is International Paper's world-class player. And he scored a goal today. We'll have more on that later in the show.
Sports Extra, brought to you by International Paper. We answer to the world.
Multat apreciuje firmę International Paper w Polsce. Produkuje wyroby z papieru dla całej Europy.
Carolina's father works at a plant recently bought by International Paper.
Dawniej było dużo zanieczyszczenia z fabryki.
The plant has increased productivity while greatly reducing emissions.
Potem śnieg bywał czarny od sadzy, ale naprawili to. A teraz, kiedy robią bałwana, nie wygląda, jak gdyby musiał iść się wykąpać.
International Paper. We answer to the world.
So, I'm on the Belt Parkway at 7:30 doing a crisp 8 miles an hour. Even the pigeons aren't moving. But I get off at Coney Island Avenue. I cut through the Portly Man's parking lot and drive down the alley behind Futon Manuals. I go all the way to 60th Street, which everybody thinks is closed, but they're just repaving it. Hop on the Fort Hamilton Parkway, and bingo! I save a whole 7 minutes.
A little passionate about his commute, isn't he?
He drives an Accord.
Oh.